Hey guys, so I'm coming live a little bit early because right now I still have power, and I wanted to come on and say that as long as I still have power, I'll be doing this presentation. So our presentation on repurposing content. And my laptop is not plugged in, so I shouldn't blow anything up. If I do lose power, I'm just going on battery there, but I am noticing that my video is slow. So if you're having trouble keeping track, I'll watch the replay. I'll make sure that everything comes through and that you have all the information. I will also post all of this information into the SOS classes on Success on Social. So the Thursday live SOS classes, mini sessions, I forgot what I titled it, but I will put it in that session on Success on Social. So you'll have that and all of the presentation and all of that. Now, I know I'm on early, so some of you may just be getting the notification. Some of you may be joining me in a few moments. If you do, please welcome. And I look forward to going through this because this is one of those things that I get a lot of questions about and ways to repurpose content so that you are not recreating the wheel with every post and not having to do so many different things. Now, I also know that I may not get anybody because if it's looking like it's looking outside my house, you may not be wanting to get on your computer to sit through a 15-minute presentation on repurposing content. So if you're not able to watch, again, I'll make sure it's on the replay, and I'll make sure that the stagger and the slowness is not too bad in the replay. So I'm going to give people until 4:15 to hop on, and then we will get started. If you are here, I see a couple of you here, just you want to drop your name and where you're from in the comments. I'm guessing most of you are from New York, but who knows? Name and where you're from in the comments and say hi. And we will go over, that scared 3 people off. Okay. So if you are one of the ones that is not scared off, feel free to drop some information in the comments. I'm friendly, I won't bite. And I just want to know where people are watching from so I get to know who is out there in the group. And all right, I'm going to give it a few more minutes and then I will get started. And I'll continue talking to myself because it's a good time. I scared everybody off. Love it. All right. So today we are going to be talking about repurposing content. And it's one of those things that I get a ton of questions on. I get people asking me how they can work smarter, not harder, how they can put content out that they've already put out so they're not always creating content. And while I don't ever recommend you reposting things specifically, there are ways that you can really repurpose content and make it work for you. So that is what we are going to talk about today. Let me share my screen. And I will be over here hanging out on the side here. So tips and tricks for repurposing content. Hey, Lachelle, how are you? I hope the weather down by you is a lot better than it is right now. If I lose power, I apologize. I'll make sure I hop back on if I get it back quickly, or I'll record this if it cuts out. But good to see you. And we're jumping right in. So, tips and tricks for repurposing content. Come on, mouse. There we go. And we lag. There we go. So what we want to do with this is we want to reduce the time you spend on social media by utilizing strategies to reuse, recycle, refresh, reimagine content that you've already used. So it's not really just putting the same content out there, but it's using it in a different way, or it's refreshing it so that it has a new spin on it, or it's really just kind of recreating it, giving it new life, new meaning. And this can help you tremendously in reducing the amount of time that you spend on creating your social media content. So for best results, determine which platform or platforms will get original content, and then determine which platforms or platforms will get repurposed content. Then you're going to decide how many posts per week you're doing on each platform. So that way you can plan out your content appropriately. Then you want to stagger your posts, generally 8 to 12 days. This is actually the first strategy that I'm going to give you guys is staggering your posts 8 to 12 days, and I'll show you why. And then know the tricks for optimizing your content for each platform. You know, when do you use hashtags? When do you not use hashtags? How many hashtags do you use? Do you research your Twitter hashtags and your Instagram hashtags on the platforms where they're going to be posted individually? Yes. Do you use a variety of methods to keep your content from feeling stale? So one of the strategies I give you is breaking down your blog. But if all your content is broken down blog posts, your content gets stale very quickly. So by mixing in some different repurposing strategies, as well as creating new content for your platforms that you're creating content for, it allows you to have a better mix and it not feel stale. So, hey Irene, how are you? Hey Mel, I see you there. So some of the key strategies for repurposing content. Staggering the publication on your platforms. Chunk out your photos used for posts, and I'll talk about that and what the hell I mean by that. Blogging, so to social media posts. So you have a blog, and you're going to break down that blog and create social media posts. You can do the same thing for newsletters and email drips, and you can do the same thing for presentation. And then the opposite is true. You can do the same thing. You can create social media posts that create your blog, your newsletter, your campaign drips, stuff like that. So I'll talk about the one way and the other way. Another great way to repurpose your content is to do more day in the life content. More, what am I doing today? More documentation instead of creation. What am I doing today? I'm recording this video. I should be recording myself recording this video. Why? Because I can use that in my social media content at a later date. And I'm not doing that, but I will. This is where I always miss on this one. I always forget to start my video. So there, I'm starting my video and I'm talking about this. And then using your live video and your other videos and breaking them down into smaller pieces. So those are the strategies that I am going to talk about today. And the first one, which I said is really key to this, is staggering your publication on platforms. So it incentivizes platform hoppers to actually follow you on multiple platforms instead of just saying they post the same thing on every platform. I'm just going to follow them on one. And you want them because your audience is slightly different. And sometimes those that are your platform hoppers are the ones that really care about your content and they want to see something new, and they can be your true, mega fans, super fans that are going to be like, oh my God, I love them and everything they do is right, because they're following you on all the platforms because they believe in what you do and you're giving them new content. And it doesn't have to be hard and it doesn't have to be all new content. So allow for the tweaks and optimization and it gives yourself more room to schedule things. So how do you do it? You pick a main platform. So for me, one of my main platforms, I have Facebook as a main platform in my group and Instagram as my main platform for my photos. So I pick the main platform, that's Instagram. Then I'm going to repurpose the content for the second platform. So I repurpose it for Twitter and for my Facebook page, I repurpose my art content. Then I schedule it 8 to 12 days in advance on Facebook and Twitter. So you're actually going to stagger the way that you're doing it. You're scheduling it in the future. And then I can do this all in one step with Later. So I actually can go into Later. It's app.later.com. And what you see here, let me make this full screen for you because the type is a little bit small. Come on, mouse. On this side here is actually what I see in my Later. I created this as 3 separate posts. One was on August 19th, one was on August 3rd, and one was on August 10th. So it was staggered. And then I optimized each one. So let's look at what it looks like for Facebook. So this is the this is the Instagram post. This is where I create all my content. I get thrown off now because hey Rick and Rich, so my Instagram is black on my phone, but it's white on the computer, so it throws me off. So this is my Instagram post. This is where I created this post. And this post it's optimized because it has the hashtags in there. It has the tags that I wanted on there, and it has a caption. This is where I created it. And then I repurposed it for the other 2 platforms. So for Twitter, I shortened it. I took some of the hashtags out, resized the photo. So that shows up like that on Twitter. And it went up on Twitter on August 10th. So it went 7 days before on Instagram. And this is how it shows up on Facebook. No hashtags, same size photo, and shows up on the 19th. So a few days after that. So that is kind of, I just created it as one and then made the edits on each individual post and later as it comes up. And it's super easy to do that. And that's why I recommend Later as a great app for doing this, because then you can stagger, you can literally drag it from the day you create it and throw it down 8 days later if you want. And it works really smoothly and really, really, really great way for you to not have to worry about repurposing your content in the same way as like, I got to take this down, I got to write it, rewrite it, put it up again, retype it, all that. No fun. So next little thing is chunking out your photos you use for posts. So what the heck do I mean by this? So there's certain types of posts that you can select a single type of image for. For me, I'll use two examples. I have a few themes that I talk about in my edutaining posts, which is one of the 9 essential posts that I use in Success on Social, and JRH Graphics is one of our 9 essential posts. So for edutaining posts, I talk about a few different themes. One of them is balance in business. One of them is having perspective in business. So for those 2 themes, I have specific things that I talk about. For my product, which is me, I use a specific photo to talk about it, which is me. So I have, for balance, I use bikes. For perspective, I use aerial shots of New York City. And for me, I use photos of me. So I have 3 buckets. There's the bucket. It took a while to pop up, but I have 3 buckets there that are full of photos. So for edutaining posts where the theme is balance, I have bikes. How does this make your job easier? 1, you always know what you're going to be posting. 2, your caption is pretty much interchangeable. So whatever you say about balance, you can change the picture and it's a new post for you on Instagram. It's completely new on Instagram because what are people looking at? The image there. So you change the caption, it's a completely new post on Instagram. Or you change the photo, it's a completely new post. It helps you just be flexible in what you're posting and always know that you have content. So for pictures that are me, people also are in the habit of knowing that if there's a picture of me, I'm talking about my business. If there's a picture of bikes, they know I'm talking about balance because I always do it. And it just creates those habits. They know what they're looking at. If they like it, they'll look at it. If they don't, they'll skip it for the time. But that's a way of really kind of creating posts that you can almost reuse the text. I have said the same thing about perspective on my posts. Like I only have 10 things I really say about perspective, and I've said them 100 times. But I change the picture and it's new. And every time I post something about perspective, I get comments like, oh my God, such a great idea. Oh my God, this is really, really true, because they're seeing it for the first time, or they're feeling like they're seeing it for the first time because the image is new, the caption's a little bit rewritten, but it helps you with that sort of repurposing in a very simple way. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments there and I will answer them. So the next one is, and I'm flying through this, although it's brightening up here, it doesn't look like it's going to be the end of the world right now. So I'll maybe slow down, but this is blogs, presentations, an article, whatever you have, a larger piece of content that you've created that you want to create social media posts out of. So you can really break this down and it's simple. I use the blog as an example, but it works for all written content. So you write a blog, article, presentation, whatever it is. You have key points in there. Thank you. I try to be clever. You have key points that are the main ideas in your blog, article, presentation. You're going to create a post for each of those key points. You're going to pair it with a photo, write up a really properly written caption super fast, and then schedule the content out in the future. So if you're writing the blog post today, and you want to put it out, it gets published tomorrow. You're going to put out a post that says, new blog post, here's what I'm talking about, here's the main idea, check it out here. But you're also going to create those secondary posts, like that post that talks about the first main idea. And you're going to create that post and you're going to schedule it in 2 to 3 weeks. And then you're going to take the next post and you're going to create it all at the same time, because you're already in there. You're in the mindset. You have most of the words written for the main topics. You just have to put it in caption form. Create it. I create 5, 6, 7 sometimes when I write a blog. And then I schedule them 3 to 5 weeks out each. So I post one in 3 weeks. I post one in 5 weeks. I post one in 15 weeks, whatever, 10 weeks, 15 weeks. That way I have content scattered throughout that's going to help me fill up my weeks. And I'm directing people back to a piece of content that has value on my own website from my social media. So you're getting people to your website, which helps you get people to sign up for your newsletter, whatever it is, so that you have their email address, so that when Instagram and Facebook and Twitter all explode and disappear from the face of the earth, you actually still have a way of contacting your people. So in doing that, you're saving a ton of time, because you can create it really quickly. You can schedule it out, and it's super easy. You're just talking about the main topics in your post. So there is and I have a breaking down the blog worksheet. It's available on Success on Social, and it's super easy, but it gives you just kind of an idea of what you step through. And, this has the first part of it, which is you're going to do the blog title, your blog link. You're going to look at the overall post idea. You're going to create a post for that. Then you're going to do the section topics and the subsections, and you create posts for that. And you'd be amazed. And actually in this handbook here, the Breaking Down Your Blog Workbook, there is actually an article that's the start of that. And it talks about how I got 22 posts out of one blog. And that I could then, 22 posts scheduled 3 to 5 weeks apart is like 2 years of content, or scheduling it out. So it helps because it's giving you content that's just a cushion. And if you need to refresh it when you get to it 22 weeks from now, you can refresh it a little bit, but you at least have stuff already done. And this is a big, big way to save yourself some time. All right. So people say, breaking down my content doesn't work for me. I need to build up my content. I need to have something already there. And okay, simple enough. Just reverse engineer it. Write 5 social media posts, like the 5 blanks to blank a blank, 5 ways to, I don't know, write a blog post, and write the 5 main topics of how do you write a blog post as social media posts. And then you take that and you smush it together and you add an introduction and a conclusion, and you have an article, a blog post, a presentation, something that is a larger piece of content that you can use. And that is really reimagining and repurposing your content that you've already used. So you can build up as well as break down. So day in the life content. What do you do day to day? So what is it that you're doing every day? I'm recording a video of me doing this presentation right now. It's something that I do day to day. What might my followers find interesting in this? They might find the tips I'm giving them interesting. They might find, should you hyperlink key phrases on your blog to bring them back to social media and vice versa? You can hyperlink things if they're talking about important content on Instagram. You can hyperlink it. You can say, I talked about this in this post, or I talked about this in this blog, and direct them there. Your key phrases could be keywords for SEO. And I know Rick and Rich are here, and they both do SEO more than I do, because I'm social media guy. And they can answer that a little bit better. But yes, wherever possible, if you're using your keywords for SEO, then yes, you want to use them as much as possible in your topics and your blogs and wherever you're creating content, because that will help you. And you should hyperlink. You can't obviously create hyperlinks in Instagram, and you should, when you're hyperlinking on Facebook now, make sure you're hyperlinking in the comment. Don't directly hyperlink in the actual post, because they do not like that so much right now. They don't want people leaving the platform, so they're penalizing those people that are putting hyperlinks in their posts. So you just simply move your hyperlink into the first comment. So that's why you'll see a lot of times I'm going hyperlink in first comment or link in first comment for signing up for this or something like that. So that is that's something to be aware of. So think about what might provide value for your followers here in your day in the life content. Record yourself doing something that's part of your business. Talk about tips, tricks, life hacks, things that have helped you get through. Highlight the value of how you handle something, and then you're done. You've created some day in the life content. This is what I'm doing. Here's why I do it. This is what happens in my life. And then you're creating stuff that adds value. So now you've got that day in the life content. You can post it as it is, as an IGTV, as however you want to post it. And then later, you can repurpose it. So how could you repurpose it? You could make a GIF of yourself using Giphy. And I actually have a tutorial on how to do that right here in the group. I can link that in the comments later. You can take 30 to 60 second clip from live and repurpose it as a post. So say I wanted to make sure, and I do this when I'm planning out my presentations, you'll notice I try to hit a really key point in like 30 to 45 seconds because I want to be able to do that so I can post it on social media as a complete thing without having to cut it up. So when I'm talking about things like repurposing things, I'm going to try to make my points in a really short amount of time. And then I babble a little bit and keep you entertained. And then I make another point and I babble a little bit, keep you entertained. I'm not really entertaining you, I know. But so I have in those 45 seconds, something that's a complete idea that I can post on social media at a later date. So obviously this is going in as a live video, but 2 months from now, or maybe on Instagram, I want to talk about how I can repurpose video content and use it on Instagram. I can then take this clip and say, here's how I do it. And I have it within a 60-second, and it's a complete post, and I don't have to create anything else. So that's really super easy way to use your live video content as part of your social media content. You can also use it as part of a live presentation. You need to breathe. Like every once in a while, I have recorded parts in my presentations because I need to take a deep breath or a sip of water. So I plan that as long as it's not, when you're doing a live presentation on Facebook, it needs to be really a live presentation. So you can't put like 15 minutes of recorded video. But if it's a minute, 2 minutes, you can put it in there and have it for that breather for you. Repurpose a live presentation into an IGTV post. Now, for those of you who need to know, because IGTV is a little weird, you have to have a vertical video, but you don't really. You can use Keynote to create a template that has something interesting on the top and bottom, and then actually put a spot for your video right in the center and use that as an IGTV video. It's not ideal. I wouldn't recommend doing it all the time, but if you've got a really good presentation that you want to put up on IGTV, that's a quick way to do it without having to refilm it. And then use a small portion of pre-recorded content in live video. I mentioned that one. So here we go. Here's a quick video in here. Let's see. I think I'm sharing sound. And they were talking about how they wanted to start telling it. And then she goes, and I think I'll put a picture of this in there, but maybe I won't use this cup because it says something about me that's really personal. And I said, why not use that cup? If that's who you are, you cannot be afraid of being who you are on your social media. You can't be afraid of. So the audio is a little bit staggered there, but that is just an example. Let me go back and forward of a piece of content that I created from other content that I'd done. That was actually a longer video that was part of the Anti-Social Guy's Guide to Social Media. I took a chunk of that and put it out as a regular post on talking about its own topic. So all this is about you being willing to and able to work smarter, not harder. You don't need to work harder on social media than you're already working. You don't need to spend more time on social media than you're already doing, because many of you are probably spending more time than you want to be spending on social media. So these are ways that you can minimize that time. These are ways that you can actually utilize content you've already created and really make use of it in a better way. Get the most out of the content you've created. If you're spending time creating a blog, spending time creating a presentation, if you're creating a presentation, because I know many of you are in BNI and you have a feature presentation that you're presenting, is it talking about your business and talking about things that you do in your business? Would it actually add value to your followers? Why not create a social media post, a presentation, all of that in one, so you're actually not wasting your time? Every single time I create a presentation for my BNI, I'm actually building it off of either content I've built for social media already or content that I'm going to be using on social media. So it is, I promise you, there's easier ways to do a lot of this stuff. So let's try to kind of think through it. And if you ever have any questions, please let me know. Also, the guide to repurposing content will be coming out over the weekend, hopefully. I don't like how the green on that is different than the green on this. Anyway, those two don't match, but so that is going to be coming out hopefully over the weekend. It will be on successon.social, and you can download it there. I think I priced it at like $8.95, $10.95, something like that. But guess what? I'll probably run a promotion on it, so you'll get a discount on it next week as part of the stuff that we have. So if anybody has any questions or comments or concerns or anything, please drop it in the comments, and I will be right there to take a look at it. I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen so you can see me, because I know that's what everybody wants. All right, so I have blank comments from people. It has your name but no comment. So at 4:20, Rick, you said something I can't see. Irene, try. When you break out content, should you hyperlink the key phrase, blog post, bring it back to social media, and vice versa? So yes, we should use that. Should you hyperlink or hashtag? You should do whatever is appropriate for that specific piece of content. So if you have a hyperlink that is going to drive from Facebook, you want them to go to your page, you should put that hyperlink in the first comment. You shouldn't actually hashtag on Facebook. To include a hyperlink on Instagram, you're going to actually use the hashtag link in bio, and then you're going to put the link in your bio page there. So that link in bio, make sure you keep your link in bio up to date so that you're directing them to the right place. But generally, you should keep your link in bio as your free offer. Whatever it is, you're inviting people to follow you on your Instagram page. You want to give them something for free. It's like, hey, follow me. Here's what you get. And obviously that can be your lead gen, but you want to keep that generally something that is free for them. Now, if you have an article that you're posting, a new blog, you can always do that link in bio, update the link for a day or two, and then take it down. Later does have a feature where you can put links in you can put link in bio tag there, and it will link to whatever you link in that post. You can create a link in that post. But if you don't create a link, then they're going to other things, and it gets a little confusing. I have not been using it. I've just been using my direct to my 9 essential posts, because to me, that is the one thing that they can get from me that will drive them back to understanding what I do and why I do it, and so on and so forth. All right. No other questions. Let me make sure. All right. If there's no other questions, guys, I think I covered a lot in 29 minutes. That's not bad. So there was a lot of content there. I will make sure that the replay is up on the page. I will also make sure that it is up in successon.social. So if you have not already gotten your basic membership, which is free, on successon.social, you can do that. Your free membership entitles you to all the free courses on that site, and allows you to get all of this content that I've given to you guys and have it as a reference. So these will be going in the Thursday Success on Social recaps, whatever, all the tools will be there. So you can get those for free right on the Success on Social. And it's a wonderful little deal. If you are already a member and you've been supporting Success on Social before we actually go live with our website, hopefully in October, and there will be a nice little bonus for those of you who are already members, who are already supporting me, and as a nice thank you for you guys. So I appreciate all that support, and you'll see that coming out in October, which is only a month away. So we're going to be on track for that and be very excited. So I'm very excited. And last but not least, if you are interested in taking Success on Social, the last run of the course before it's actually an official live real course, it's still a real course. It gives you a lot of information. It launches on September 14th. We will be starting class then, and it's 6 weeks of fun with me. So that will be starting on September 14th. So if you want to take it, or you know anybody who could benefit from 6 weeks of learning social media with me, I really do feel bad for you guys. But anyway, then that course is launching on the 14th. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I'll be back tomorrow with our successes, our wins, and all those things we can celebrate. Lachelle, I saw you on here. Thank you very much. I have a post that I'll be putting up for you this afternoon. I got the package yesterday, so I appreciate it. All right, guys, I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye. I do have creative ways to promote for holiday, and I have a webinar coming up on it and some extra content in Success on Social coming up in October for holiday. But we can talk about it if you want. Just shoot me and drop me a line. We can set up a time to talk. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. And I can't end the broadcast.